You don't want to miss the 2025 Charleston Black Expo, a full day of fun and activities for the whole family, including job fair, health pavilion, free seminars, kids zone, and the senior lounge sponsored by Humana. Experience silent disco in the VIP lounge, enjoy healthy cooking demonstrations, show off your trail ride line dancing skills, or enter to win great prizes in our Spades tournament. It's an enlightening, educating, and entertaining experience you don't want to miss. For tickets, visit blackexposouth.com.
You don't want to miss the 2025 Charleston Black Expo, a full day of fun and activities for the whole family, including job fair, health pavilion, free seminars. Join the fireside chat with gospel legend Kirk Franklin, actor Corey Hardrick, and comedian That Chick Angel, with performances by Cupid the Line Dance King, R&B diva Selena Johnson, and Sunday's best Ashford Sanders. It's an enlightening, educating, and entertaining experience you don't want to miss. For tickets, visit blackexposouth.com.
It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, it is showtime. The Geno Jones Showtime. So I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 on the East Coast, Eastern Time. So from Detroit City, well, East Coast, we're talking about Boston, New York. Philly's not really on the coast. D.C. is kind of near the coast. Charleston, South Carolina. Shout out to Charlotte, not on the coast, but you get it. Eastern Time. Chicago, stand up, South Side, West Side, 5:30. Down in Houston, New Orleans, Jackson, Mississippi, Memphis, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, 5:30. Live in Los Angeles on the West Coast, 3:30 p.m. Tell everybody you know to subscribe to my channel. It's so important that we support Black-owned media. Once again, I'm inviting everybody. I am asking you to please support my media company. We need Black-owned media and our platforms more now than ever. It is so important because we're losing our voices on the corporate media intentionally. That's a whole different conversation. I've had that conversation. So if you'd like to be a sponsor, if you'd like to advertise, I'd be honored to have you as part of the Geno Jones Show family. You can reach me on my Gmail, GenoJonesShow at Gmail. That's how you spell Geno Jones Show at Gmail. Now, as an individual or company, whatever, if you would just like to make a contribution, really no contributions too small or too large, to support voices like mine, shows like mine, platforms, so we can speak truth to power, or as my grandmother, Jean Jones, who I was named after, said, Jeannie, tell the truth, and shame the devil. And that's what we do here. So I have Cash App. Cash App is $ Dad G Jones, $ D, capital D, A D, lowercase a D, capital G, capital J, O-N-E-S, $ Dad G Jones. Now, that's on Cash App. On Zelle, just type in Geno Jones. You don't even have to do the show. Just type in Geno Jones, search by my area code 843. I'm the only Geno Jones you're going to see there on Zelle with an 843. Now, coming up in a few minutes, so I got my guest, the brand new chairman of the Charleston County, South Carolina Democratic Party, family member, part of the Geno Jones Show family, Pastor Thomas Dixon, fellow Chicago native, brother grew up on the south side, and just a very lovely, talented part of the Geno Jones Show family member. You have seen her before. She is now with the North Charleston Democrats, Michelle Brandt. They are coming up shortly. So let me just say this off the dome. Oh, by the way, the Geno Jones Show brought to you by City Vibes Bar and Lounge, the ultimate adult night spot. Shout out to Corey and Kenya Williams. City Vibes, learn more. All the info you need. Great food, great fun, drink, you name it. They got it all. City Vibes, VIBES, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and shout out to the Crate Group, one of the top nonprofits in America. And shout out to the CEO, Kendrick Bannister. Learn more about the Crate Group. Just search C-R-A-T-H-E, the Crate, C-R-A-T-E, Crate Group. I think their website is crategroup.com or .org. Just do a search. All right, so tonight, Orange Hitler is going to stand up for about, his long-winded ass, probably about 2 hours, and just basically lie. Just lie and spread hate and misogyny and sexism and misinformation. So it's being called the president's, and I'm using that term president, loosely, State of the Union address. Don't waste your time. Don't trigger yourself. I'm just telling you. You can just play this show back. Shout out to Roland Martin. He's doing something big. Once again, we're talking about supporting black-owned media. It is so important because if we, part of the culture and the community, if we don't support our own black-owned media and black-owned businesses, nobody else is going to really do it. And we can't expect no one else to do it because the truth is we are all we got. It's clear now. November 5th said, look, you Negroes are on your own. We really ain't like messing with you from the beginning. We don't want to hire you. We are jealous to see that y'all with all this talent and billionaires and taking over. We want to get rid of all of that. All of y'all, if we could try to get rid of the 13th Amendment. Oh, gee, they are trying to get rid of the 13th Amendment and the 14th Amendment. Oh, wow. So we're all we got. But check this out. Guess what? We are all we need. We've got the blueprint. Our ancestors gave it to us. So don't even trigger yourself. All right? So you can replay this show, watch what Roland Martin's doing. He's going to be right here streaming live on YouTube. He's got his Black Star Network. There's a lot of folks doing great. Or just watch a movie. A rom-com or whatever. Just, make love to your spouse or read a book. Go to the gym. Don't do something healthy. Do not. I get it. Don't trigger yourself with the lies and the bullshit because my grandmother had a term. She said, oh, you going to just stick to the lie. Jeannie, you going to stick to the lie. You going to look me dead in my eyes, dead in my face, look into my eyes and stick to the lie, which I wouldn't do. But she had that term, stick to the lie. So this dude, the lies always stuck to him. As a matter of fact, the only time he's not lying, probably in his sleep he's lying. So don't trigger yourself. All right? But let me ask you this. After 6 weeks, are you better off? Are you feeling better? How's your 401k plan today? How you get, maybe you kind of self-manage your own mutual fund? Yeah, how's that looking? Stock market is tank crash 2 days in a row, down, over 600, almost 700 points? This ain't CNBC, but listen, you got a 401k plan. You looked at it 6 weeks ago and looking at the value now, you're like, what the hell is going on here? Sounded like an old Vince Lombardi for my millennials and Gen Zs. He was a coach for the Green Bay Packers, legendary coach way back in the day. And there was this little bit that they were showing TV. Something was going on, and it was just the way he said, what the hell is going on here? Pastor Dixon know about Vince Lombardi and the Green Bay Packers growing up in Chicago like me when he comes on camera. So how's that? Planes falling out the sky, measles outbreak. They fired all these people, I think today, from the National Weather Service. Oh, we got tornadoes and floods and wildfires here in South Carolina. Probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours north of here, up in Myrtle Beach. MAGA cutting your families or your parents or grandparents Medicaid. Oh, yeah, they're cutting Medicaid, Social Security. Canada, China, Mexico said, we not playing no. Oh, so Orange Chili, you gonna slap 25% tariffs, 25% tariffs? We got you. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau of Canada held a news conference. He said basically something that Pastor Dixon and I were talking before the show. In Chicago, we had listen. My grandfather said, Jeannie, never start a fight, but always end it. So Justin Trudeau say, listen, we didn't start this fight, but we're going to finish it. All right, we ain't no punks. Don't get it twisted now. Kind of paraphrasing what Justin Trudeau said. And he said, to the American people, we love you all. We did not want to do this, but we're not going to be bullied by Orange Hitler. All right, so now, especially a lot of northern states, if you live in Michigan or Maine or Massachusetts, you probably didn't realize that the gas that you put in your car comes from Canada. Oops. Parts of the, I know Maine is one state, and some of these states that border Canada, guess what? You get your electricity. So probably parts of upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, maybe parts of Massachusetts. They get Massachusetts is on the list. They get their electricity, a lot of them, from Canada. Oops. And the Canadians talking about, we're going to shut y'all power. We're going to turn the lights out. Ain't going to be no internet, no cable. So Orange Chili can't sit around watching no porn movies. None of that. We shutting it down. And China's always got a plan, 100-year plan. So gas, fruit, vegetables, produce, lumber. If you are building a house or you're buying a house and you're going to need lumber, lumber's coming from Canada. And forget either Canadian beer or like all y'all that like Dos Equis, all of your Mexican cerveza. That's going up dramatically. Your fruits, vegetables, avocados, produce coming from Mexico. That's the produce is not coming from Canada. Oh, by the way, guess what? Today I heard with these tariffs, if you're gonna buy, like, let's say you ballers out there, you're gonna buy an $80,000 car today, now, or tomorrow, you go to the dealership, $100,000. So I guess if you buy like a $40,000 car, that's about to jump up to $60,000 because you got these tariffs. And a lot of the parts come from Mexico, Canada. So this is the find out. We have to round the find out part, but what can we do about it? And starts right there where you live. Start where you stand in your neighborhood, in your community, in your cities and towns, counties, states. And then we spread it out to the country. So without any further delay, I want to bring up my guest once again. He's the chairman of the Charleston County, brand new, newly elected over the weekend. And I got like a notification, and I followed the brother. So on my timeline, his name popped up, a live shot, and there he was, Pastor Thomas Dixon, the brand new chairman of the Charleston County, South Carolina Democratic Party. And then I found out that my other family, Michelle Brandt, is with the North Charleston Democrats. So, all right, I'm going to take a pause. I'm going to let these brilliant, talented, beautiful people talk to you. Ladies and gentlemen, one Michelle Brandt, friend of the show, part of the Geno Jones family. You've seen her on before. And you haven't seen Pastor Dixon on for a minute, but he's back. So I want to welcome both of you all. Congratulations. So, Pastor, since you were the chairman, I'm going to hit you up first, and I'm going to imagine we're in the barbershop. And here's the conversation, because I know you've already heard it, and Michelle, I know you've heard it too. Man, the Democrats, they ain't doing nothing. Man, they weak. Man, y'all Democrats are just letting the Republicans do all of this. Are you all, are the Democrats going to just abandon black folks and black voters? Because they're trying to get these Trump voters, because there are a lot of, disenfranchised people, period. But we know the conversation goes on in the community and the culture. So I know you all are juggling a lot. So I just wanted to put that on the table, Pastor Dixon, because I know you ain't never ran from a fight. I'm sure Michelle hadn't either. But just congratulations. Just speak to, I guess, the branding and the image problem that just the Democratic brand has overall, and how you are going to change that.
Yeah, right. Geno, thank you so very much for having me on this evening, myself and Michelle Brandt. Of course, we roll Southside, Chi-Town all the way.
Yeah.
And I think it's a tribute to the flavor that I bring right now to the Charleston County Democratic Party. It's a different kind of flavor. It's a street level flavor that's also coupled with the political professionalism that I've also encountered, having run for U.S. Senate, having run for mayor, having interacted with our politicians on multi-levels, and have gained respect over time on those levels, but also having been born and raised in the streets, and having come from, as they say, come from the gutter, come from the mud, I bring a different flavor to the Democratic Party, a flavor that that Ray Ray and Pookie and them out on the street can relate to. And I think that's what it's going to take for us to overcome the challenge of how do we expand the big tent by getting those who have been disenfranchised and apathetic about the Democratic Party back up under the big tent, not just for a vote, but for them to understand that we are family and that we care, and that democratic values are the key, not the party, but the value system is the key that's going to let our disenfranchised Latino and Black voters understand we're the party that care. We're the people that care, not the party, but the people that care.
I like that, focusing on, because those democratic values are about really caring for people, just having a sense of humanity and compassion and empathy and decency. But Pastor Dixon, so we're in the barbershop, so we had them conversations. We drill all the way down. So for those watching the show, tell us, what does that look like when you talk about how you combine, like the street knowledge or just having lived life and having various experiences, including running to be U.S. Senator, including running to be the mayor of North Charleston. What does that actually look like to somebody that's watching now? Because what does that mean? What is that? How's that going to change my life? How are you going to interact with me? What does that really look like?
Right. Understanding the dynamic that we saw in play over the years, how we saw young ones who were taken to the polls by their grandparents and their parents and said, this is your obligation. You have got to go vote. People have died. That old mantra, people died for the vote and everything, which it actually happened. But the thing was, those same seniors in our community told their children that they took to the polls that when you vote, things are going to get better. And those same children watched as, instead of things getting better, getting drugged to the polls with that promise, things in our community never got better. As a matter of fact, they got worse. And the elected officials who were tasked, who our seniors looked up to, who were tasked with that care for the community, they never produced on their investment, the investment of a vote. It never came to any kind of realization in the community. And those children got older living in communities where schools failed, healthcare systems failed, stores failed, high crime, high drugs, no opportunity, no economic opportunity. And they said, why vote? It doesn't make any sense for us to vote. We tried that method and it didn't work. Well, now we're at a point, especially with Charleston County right now, with somebody like myself who understands that dynamic, who is ready to make sure that those that we have elected, that they're working for the people, that those who are involved with the party understand the needs of the people and are ready to work toward meeting those needs, not just at a time when we need a vote. No, if we have to work when it's time to get a vote and we haven't put in the work in between time to earn that vote, then we have lost the battle before we got started. But for the community to understand the difference between democratic values, that we believe in taking care of the people, as opposed to the Republican Party, and I'm just going to put it out, their whole platform is about taking care of them and the people at the top. And we're going to see real soon in this current administration that there's no trickle down. And as a matter of fact, what trickles down to the bottom is going to be death and destruction. Yes. And we're going to see it happen in real time. And we want to make sure that as the Democratic Party representing democratic values that take care of people, that the community knows, Black, white, Latino, Native American, Pacific Islander, and Asian, that everybody knows that you have a haven of people that will advocate on your behalf within the Democratic Party system, because our democratic values, that's a representation of we take care of you. We are all about of the people, by the people, and for the people.
So put a pin in that, Pastor Dixon, because I'm gonna come back to you, and I want you to talk about specifically. I want you to put it on a bumper sticker, on a T-shirt, like a bullet point, what those democratic values are. Even though I know, because you and I talked, and a lot of it was just rooted in, like I said, humanity and compassion and empathy. But Michelle, my sister, I want to speak to you as a black woman, because black women, man, you all were like superheroes. 80%, over 85% of the brothers we represented, we threw on the cape. But, black women, November 5th, man, y'all were 92%, that cape was flying. But there is a lot, and I am not telling you anything that you don't know, and I want you to speak to it as a black woman, and having black women in your family. Everything from anxiety, apathy, anger, despair, pissed off, feeling betrayed, really hurt emotionally, that they felt that, and I'm just going to be specific, like the 53% of white women who voted against their own interest, their own reproductive health, their own economic health, and that of their families. What is it? What would you say? And I know there's some disappointed and disenfranchised white women, but the numbers don't lie. The beautiful thing about numbers, they don't lie. And the fact is, 53% of white women again voted for this madness, this MAGA madness. And look, because I've heard it. My mother and my sisters watching, and I'm telling you, the conversations that I had with I even had one of my nieces that called me. The sense of the anxiety and fear and just feeling let down and disappointed, even though my mother, she kind of knew. She's like, all right, you don't put your faith, if you think them 53% that voted for him, if you think they're going to flip, she kind of told me, she said, no, I've been living 80 plus years. So I want you to speak to that, and what's the conversation that you plan to have as a leader in the Democratic Party? And Pastor Dixon, you can chime in, but being a black woman, and I know hearing that conversation, probably having some of those feelings yourself, what's the conversation that you have now to make sure that we tap back in? Because a lot of folks have tapped out. And a lot of black women, a significant number, have just tapped out. And I get it. It's a look. I don't have nothing else to give. My feelings, emotions, my money, my peace of mind, my sanity, my emotional health. So what's the conversation that you have when you talk to women who express those feelings?
I have two sisters, and I know after the election, we were all really, really hurt. I didn't have the luxury to wallow in sorrow too much because I was running in a special election. But I don't think disappointment can cover it. I was hopeful for a minute. I think a lot of us were, with all of the Zoom meetings, the white women, the black women, the white dudes, the cat ladies. I had never seen any kind of organizing like that ever before. And, the DNC was big fun. But when I look back, I'm like, that was just a party. That didn't matter. It was a good time, but Kamala raised $1 billion.
Yes.
And didn't move the needle. And there are a lot of reasons and a lot of factors, but as a black woman speaking to my sisters and other black women, we're tired. There's a meme going around of black women sipping on tea, although just the city's on fire, the world's on fire. I'll tell you, I was really tempted to just quit everything. I'm out. I've done everything I could do. I wasn't one of those people that was tuned out. I did all the things. I got my friends to do the things, the phone banks, the knocking on the doors, but it was still hard. I remember I was canvassing for Jay Moore for his election. I knocked on her door, and this young Black man was like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna vote." And I was like, "What?" And so I was encouraging him to vote, and he was like, "Yeah, but Donald Trump sent me that check." And I was like, I was just like, "Woo!" I had to breathe because I'm just like, but we can't
And,
take for
and
granted.
by the way, no, he didn't send you Jack. He didn't send you Ish.
No, I
It
know.
was the Democrats and Nancy Pelosi's that got you that money. And his juvenile ass, like a 3-year-old, took a giant Sharpie and signed his name on stimulus money that he did not want you to have. Now, that's the fact. I
Yeah,
just had to throw
so
that in, Michelle. I'm sorry.
thank you. So it was just hard. It kind of felt a little defeatist. I did contemplate just sitting back, drinking tea, and just like, okay, y'all figure it out. And sometimes I have the attitude, okay, white women, you go handle it. I don't need to delete a damn thing anymore. You go fix it. Because it's your cousins, your friends, your sisters, your church friends. They're the ones who voted
Say
the way
that.
they did that put us in this position now. But that's not really who I am. I am a doer. I have optimism and hope. And even today, I spoke at a protest with Pastor Dixon. But someone shared with me a comment a white woman had made, like, "Oh, we love it when Black people come and just like spirit us on." And I was like, they said that, like, liberal white women. We need them, but they drive me crazy. So what I am trying to bring for the North Charleston Democrat Club, first of all, the club has been dead for a number of years, so I'm trying to bring it back to life, but I'm trying to also think outside of the box. We have to gauge with the Black community in North Charleston, period. They're not the only focus, but they're a huge component. In my special election, even though I did not win, we had incredibly low turnout. Only like 800 people voted. That's like awful. The Republicans are laughing at us, and they will put someone up against Courtney Waters in 2026. Like, don't be surprised. And if we don't do the work in North Charleston to kind of build up the base, then she could lose. We could lose that seat. So I am trying to go to third spaces. I'm trying to go to churches. I've never seen a chair of a Democratic club do that before. So I'm trying to do something different. I'm treating this like I'm still running for office. I will be everywhere in North Charleston. I plan on going to Lincolnville, going up there to talk to them, and I plan on going to all the community meetings, even more since I was only limited to District 113. I'm going to hit up all of them. I have long-term goals of getting precinct chairs for every precinct, and maybe like district captains for the different state house and state senate districts. I think we only have one though, with Dion Tedder. But I'm trying to just think outside the box, ways that we can engage the community, including town halls. I think that when I ran for office, we had that town hall on gun violence. I think we can do that again creatively, but not market it as a Democrat event. Indivisible Charleston spoke today at the rally, so I'm thinking about having this town hall under their umbrella. That way, because we need Republicans to come, we need independents to come. Like, if anything, I learned from the last election, we need them. We can't just be like f around and you find out. No, yes, I do that sometimes. I'm like, haha. But it's like, no, we're all hurt. We're all in the same boat together. We are only as strong as our weakest members, and we have to bring them along. There are people who are flip voters, who are independents that we can flip. And I'm hoping, I'm praying that when people look at all the chaos, they're realizing that they made the wrong choice. I've heard so many people on TikTok, farmers especially, they're like, oh my gosh, we're losing all this funding. We're losing all this money, all this investment. It's like, yeah, you didn't think that would hurt you, did it? But it does. Oh, and now you only care because it hurts you. But fine, we'll bring them in the fold. We're supposed to be the big party tent. We got to include some of those people too. Unfortunately, some people only learn when it hurts them. It sucks. It's part of human nature. We're the party of empathy and compassion. So all of us are like, well, duh, you should care about other people. But not everyone is like that because we're in a capitalist society. But I'm hoping that we can continue to build our coalition and get some great people elected and on the ballot, so we can make progress. But those are the kind of conversations that I'm having, and I'm happy to just learn from you, any outside of the box ideas, and Pastor Dixon as well, how we can be creative and how we engage the community, because it's now in the off election season. This is the time to build the base, not an election year when everyone's like, oh, well, you're only coming around because it's election time. Like, no, that's our responsibility as the Democratic Party to get in the communities now. when
Can
no
I?
one is paying attention. So
Can I? I'm not. Can I just? I have to applaud you. Thank you for saying that. See, even Pastor Dixon say and listen for the folks in the cheap seats.
Yeah.
Michelle, can you please say it with your full chest? Say that again for everybody, including those who are other in maybe be working with the Democratic Party, or just those that are working in in favor, or just those who believe in humanity and decency. Is so important. Please say that again. When really it should have started probably November 6th, but when do we need to start this thing, Michelle?
now we need to start building power now in the off election season. There's still some elections, the municipality ones. But if you want to bring change, or if you want a new senator, if you want a new congressperson, if you want a new state rep, you have to start building now in the off season so that people are more on board when it's time to get them to work. So
And you were talking about what you have to do in the community, because I was going to ask, what does that look like? But you mentioned town halls. So can I offer something?
Sure.
First, here's a suggestion. I say, why not do one at least once a month? And
that takes a lot of work.
well, that's, okay, all right. Well, no. Listen, we're brainstorming. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it. So, what would be more realistic?
Maybe twice a year.
Okay.
Definitely gun violence for North Charleston for sure, but maybe another topic that is broad reaching. Because I want it to be big. I want to get a lot of people there. I want elected leaders there to facilitate that conversation, to hold them accountable, and get some change, make some change.
So what would it take? Let's think outside the box.
Okay.
You and Pastor Dixon, what would it take, even if it's not a huge town hall, what would it take to do it once a month? Do you need more volunteers? Because I'm saying let's do the ask. I mean, people are watching me. We got a ton of people watching us live now, not just here in the Charleston metro area, but all over. Does it take volunteers? So what do we need to ask? Because we are all in this together, like you said. I mean, we're all we got, but we're all we need. So
If I could just chime in quick,
please.
real quick, because Michelle laid out the template for success. It's about community engagement at the level where people are at. Okay, and the town halls, of course, will have a significant part in that. But realistically speaking, as Michelle said, we can't have a town hall a month. So that's why we have our various local clubs, like the North Charleston Democrats.
I like that.
Which is one of about 10 different or 12 different clubs in Charleston County.
Okay.
Where those that are energized can come into the fold. They can actually speak their piece at these meetings, okay, which happen once a month. And that's the place where we connect and we build from and we build out from. And we also encourage those who attend meetings, because what she said, that's according, what she described is according to the New South, the new generation of how we're going to impress our voters about getting back with the Democratic Party.
So, Pastor Dixon, let me ask you. So, these Democratic clubs, I guess, with different counties, different maybe neighborhoods or communities, are they open to the public?
Yes, absolutely. Open to those who share democratic values.
Okay.
Who share democratic. No sense in actually, because we're nonpartisan in our established order. We don't necessarily prevent anybody from coming in, but we encourage those who share our value system to come under that umbrella. And when we look at Charleston County, we have, of course, like Michelle has just started back up, the North Charleston Democrats. Then we have the West Ashley Democrats. We have the James Island Folly Beach Democrats. We have the East Cooper Democrats, St. Paul's Democratic Club, the Edisto Democrats, Isle of Palms Democrats, Charleston Peninsula Democrats, Citadel College Democrats, Charleston Southern University College Democrats, and of course, our young Democrats of Charleston County, Democrats that are under 40 that want to fit in a particular category. Wow. Ways that anybody can plug in where they want to, who live in different areas, so that when we have these town halls, we can all come together all of those clubs together and have these conversations with any individually. We can also do it separately, and also we're looking at collaborating, especially with our tri-county Democratic county parties. Okay,
Dorchester,
collaborating with
Berkeley
Dorchester County and Berkeley County
and down
for at
Orangeburg
least
and
one
Williamsburg.
event
Yeah.
per year.
So,
It's all about building capacity,
so
and you
Pastor,
can't build capacity unless people understand that you care about
no, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to say
it.
I'm so glad that you shared that, because for you and Michelle, I've been here 20 years. Like next week marks 20 years that I've been doing the #1 radio show here in Charleston. This is year number 5 doing the TV show live 5 nights a week. I did not know until just now, when you just mentioned that there were so many different organizations that could be mobilized and energized and tapped into and kind of brought together like the Avengers, with strategy and a game plan and a sense of mission and purpose. So I'm going to do this because I'm thinking, why not maybe some of those, just the names I heard. You said West Ashley, you said East Cooper, whatever. Some of those meetings, I am offering this platform to have, because you said they're open to the public. And we set up to where people, if they can't make it, they can watch it in real time, or they can watch it whenever. And I'm offering the show as a platform where you can have those conversations.
Excellent. And there's an additional method or vehicle that we're going to be using also, and it's going to come directly from me as the chair of the Charleston County Democrats. I'm going to get back to something I started with the late former state representative David Mack. It's called Democracy 101. And I'm going to do a weekly podcast dealing with explaining what democratic values is all about. Each week, I'll talk about a different democratic value and bring in special guests who will elaborate further on how democratic values directly input and impact our listeners. So that because education, like Michelle was saying, when she knocked at the door and that person said that they weren't going to vote because of this reason or that, that's not the point to educate people. If we just like the operation has got to start a year and a half in advance before election, so does the educational process. The educational process in the last presidential election cycle with Joe Biden. That education process should have started from the moment he was elected.
Yes.
But instead, they waited. That old school method waited until 6 months before the election.
Yeah.
And so we lost out on all of the amazing achievements that he had because the community never knew about him. We're changing that. We're gonna stop that. No, we're gonna be about educating the people because education is empowerment.
So Pastor Dixon and Michelle, let's do a thought exercise. When I hear democratic values, I'm gonna tell you what I hear, and you guys can either correct me or say that I'm on target. For me, when I hear democratic values, I think of democracy. I think of making sure that children have health care, making sure that children who normally wouldn't get breakfast or lunch when school is out, making sure that those kids, any child that needs breakfast or lunch can get lunch, making sure that women can get the proper health care that they need. Black women, maternal mortality rate, death rate is 3 times higher than that of white women. Making sure that we don't lose our voting rights, making sure that police won't just shoot us down on the street while we are running away from police indiscriminately without being feeling that there will be no accountability, making sure that our children and grandchildren can get loans and grants so they can go to college, making sure that everybody, regardless of your background, has an opportunity to start a small business, get any kind of assistance, making sure that everybody is treated with a sense of humanity, and see the commonality that we all really, the truth is, because this whole concept, this racist con game of race was just some made up bullshit in the 16th century. So a small handful of people could control the social, economic, and political power and pit all the others against each other.
Mm-hmm.
But there's really one race, and that's the human race. So when we can see the humanity, because now we're in the finding out part to where there are people in rural states that's going to lose, when they lose their Medicare, and they may have a family member that's on disability, and all of a sudden that their needs are not covered, or maybe they have a parent or a grandparent that's in a nursing home or assisted living facility that Medicare would cover, or God forbid if they mess with your parent or grandparents or your Social Security. It's about to get real. So just let me know, was I in the right ballpark, or just correct me your definition when we talked about democratic values? Was I at least in the neighborhood?
I see Michelle nodding already. Go ahead.
Our values are freedom, equity, fairness, justice, diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Mhm.
Love is love. That, to me, those are democratic values.
Mhm.
And we are patriotic, and we need to reclaim it. People, even me, sometimes I cringe when I see the American flag. And I think that's something that we need to take back. Democrats stand for freedom, and we stand for American values. And we're the best party. We have empathy, we have compassion, we have all the diversity. We're fun, we're free, and we have common sense, and we abide by science. So, I feel like we got it all on the Democratic side.
We literally do. And the differentiation between Democrats and Republicans, it's as clear as night and day. I would say black and white, but I don't want to make it seem racist or racial.
Well,
But yeah, the difference is clear. Everything that you explained, everything that Michelle just said, those are not the values and we can see it every day, that the Republican Party espouses to, especially the fact that they got behind and they voted for this one person who is leading the pack against everything that you described and she described. And for me personally, whether I'm Pastor Dixon, whether I'm Tom Slick from the block, or whether I'm Joe Schmuckatelli, I see the better side and the better way to go to, and that's the one I'm going to, the way that takes care of people. We got people going to be hurting so bad real soon. They're talking about cutting SNAP benefits.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. They're talking about saying, okay, we're going to cut your benefits unless you go get a job. But then you go get a job, and they're the same people who says that $7.25 is enough money to live off of per hour today, and you can't get 40 hours because we're not going to pay benefits either. Something's wrong with those people.
And then the price of gas and everything else is going up because of these tariffs. But Pastor Dixon and Michelle, so I want you to speak to, let's talk about what this is going to look like in terms of action, because my question is, you talked about a lot of these Democratic, and we just, because let me just say this. For the person that's on camera, that is not a professional politician, and I don't say that in a negative way, it's not a pejorative, I'm an entertainer, but I understand that politics, whether you like it, whether you mess with it or whatever, that politics will like or not like you, or if you don't follow politics, politics follows you, because we're just talking about basically resources and power. But so what is it going to look like? How are you guys going to be able to engage Pookie and Ray Ray, or Tamika, or whoever, or Becky or Tom, or whoever, or Jose? How are you going to? What is it going to look like to go out and engage those who are so disillusioned? Remember, and I don't need to tell you all, you know this, 92 million people didn't even vote November 5th.
Yeah.
So that's a huge, that's a huge, heck, if you got a tenth of that, 92 million people, a tenth of that would be like 9.2 million.
Mm-hmm.
That could have swung the election. So what is that
Absolutely.
going to look like, Pastor Dixon and Michelle? Are you guys, what is it? Michelle, I know you mentioned churches. I know Pastor Dixon, you said meeting people where they are. So where's that? Is that in the parking lot at the supermarket, in the club, in the barbershop, in the hair salon, the nail salon? Where's that going to be? And are you guys going to be like everywhere?
Well, can I start, Pastor Dixon?
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
first, I want to just say the Democratic Party's job is to elect Democrats to office. That is our focus. That is our mission. Okay. There are other advocacy groups. If you want to focus on childcare, if you want to focus on housing, if you want to focus on gay rights, there are groups that are dedicated to those things. Our job is to get Democrats elected. With that being said, our focus is around engaging other Democrats and bringing them into the fold to get them to volunteer, to help get Democrats elected, to canvass, to knock doors, to phone bank, to volunteer at events. So making sure that we're doing things to engage the community in a way that helps us with our mission and vision of getting Democrats elected, because the only way that we're going to bring real change is if we get more Democrats in office. So I just wanted to say that to kind of like set the tone and make sure that people understand that at home.
So that means that sounds like turnout, Michelle. So that means that we got to get that turnout, like you said in your election. What, 800 people voted. So that's a turnout issue. So Pastor Dixon, I'm just going back. I get it, but how do you get that turnout to get the Democrats elected and get people to understand and kind of transcend? Don't get stuck on the labels, because this is my take. There is no longer a Republican Party. It is a cult. It is a cult. It is a cult of personality that's rooted in, these are my opinions. So you can add me, or you can leave a comment right there in the comment section. My show is interactive. You can jump in the chat room. I see bigotry and hatred in all of its forms. I see misogyny. I see sexism. I see xenophobia. I see lies and deception. And then there's a party that believes in humanity and that has a sense of compassion, empathy, and humanity for a diverse America, which we are. Black, white, Latino, Hispanic, men, women, young people, straight, gay, whatever your religious background, non-religious background. To me, that's where we are right now. But Pastor Dixon, go ahead. Let's talk about that turnout that we'll need to get the Democrats elected. That Michelle said that's her job. So
that's right.
How can we help with that turn? And what is your plan to really get that turnout and reach some of those 92 million folks? And then he said, man, y'all all, the lesser two evils. I ain't gonna bother with none of y'all. How do you get around that?
Exactly. With the job being to get Democrats elected, okay, with that also comes the responsibility of how we can get Democrats elected. And that deals with that turnout that you mentioned. But the only way that we can do that, and I love the answer that Michelle gave, but we have to expand our operation. For far too long, the Democratic Party has acted like an exclusive club, and they do like the church. All the church does, the church is always saving each other. That's all they do. And the mission field is actually outside the doors of the church.
Come on, Pastor. There you. That's my man. That's why I knew I was gonna get him there. Come on now. Now we bringing the real heat. Come on now.
Yeah.
And let's talk about them fake Christians, and don't get me started on that. Okay, these evangelicals. Come on now.
I'll go with that too. But with the Democratic Party, we have operated as if in staying inside of the big tent was how we're going to reach people, and that never worked. So now it's time for us to get outside of the big tent, interacting in the community, and a lot of that has to do with working along with nonprofits that have specific social justice issues that they're championing. For us to be right next to them, representing Democratic Party, representing democratic values, supporting our community face to face on the ground, so people understand, oh, they're not just over there, they're right here. Something that the church need to do too. Let me just say that, okay? Okay, but that's how we will generate that voter turnout when people realize, first off, we care enough to be right with you in this struggle because we are in this struggle also. And now we're actually opening up an avenue because you understand that our value system is different from the other value system. And our value system is the value system that's going to bless you, your children, your household, and everything if we get enough people on board to elect the people who need to be in office. And once elected, now we also have a whole nother job, and that's to make sure that those that we elect, that we get a return on our investment. I'm just going to say it, that we get a return on our investment. No longer will we have elected officials in office who misuse their positions. No longer will we have elected officials in office who feel like they're above the community or above the law. No longer will we have elected officials whose whole job is to shine. No, if you ain't working for the community, we're going to find somebody to replace you with, so that we will be validated within the community that we're going to, saying we need your vote to elect the right people. So it's no longer nothing happens when we elect people. We have to stop that. But that old model that we're changing over now was that model that put us in this bind. So now we have to uproot that weed, the roots of that weed that we had growing before, and now replant and put good seed and good soil that's going to give us a great harvest that everybody is going to benefit from. And when people see the benefit, they're going to want to come on into the tent. They're going to want to come in. They'll be enthusiastic about it. They'll be like, yeah, I'm a Democrat. Well, no, I support democratic values. That's what I support. And I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go to the 91 million ready to go to the polls and vote.
There you go, 92 million. When people see that you're working for them, they will work for and with you. So I tell you what, I like what I'm hearing. I do. I knew I was going to. I knew I could get Pastor Dixon, Michelle, because like I said, I knew I could hit that Southside tripwire, that the full unvarnished truth. See, he started off like the chairman, but then it's like, all right, I got you, chairman, but this is me and you, because tell the truth, shame the devil. That's what we do on this show. That's how I get down. But before you guys get out of here, and you've heard it, the Democrats, they don't know how to message. The Republicans are great at messaging. Well, it's easy when you're lying. You could, or as my grandmother called it, stick to the lie. But is there? I want you to speak to the messaging you both, and maybe you may have some. I think you've done it. But I just want you to speak to those who feel like, well, the Democrats don't have a message. Because you've got a message, and I heard it. But working in media, one thing I do understand, and there's data behind it, it's like you look at any great ad campaign. It's repeated over and over and over and over till you get tired of hearing it. You in your sleep, but that works. So speak to this issue of messaging for just the Democratic brand overall, and what's your plan to combat that or counteract that, starting off here in Charleston County and in North Charleston?
Well, North Charleston is the economic cornerstone of our county, of our state. North Charleston is up and coming. We are the heartbeat of this economy here, and we need to go back to basics. We are the blue collar party. So if you want a better economy, then you need our policies, because we want to take care of people so that they can go to work, so that they can have an income, so they can put food on their table for their family, have good health care so they're not dying and suffering, get them off the streets so they're not cold or hot, living on the streets, and use our tax dollars wisely and budget well, and not lose $1 million and then it didn't even exist. That would never happen under a Democrat. And so we need to call out the BS that's going on at the State House, call out how we've been under Republican control for 20 years? And somehow nothing is our fault. Nothing is our fault. It's the Republicans' fault because they have been in power for the last 2 decades. And then we got to get back to our roots, as I mentioned before. We are the blue collar party. We fight for blue collar issues. We want everyone to have a living wage, be able to take care of their kids and put food on the table. That's what the Democrats are about. So when I hear that we're not good at messaging, well, I just told you how we are.
Well, Pastor Dixon, before you jump in, come on, Michelle. I hit that tripwire. I saw that head go back and forth. I thought Damaris was on camera, or my baby sister who's watching, Angela Jones, who's no nonsense. That's south side of Chicago. Even though she's not, from the South, we all got the same, the same energy, the same vibe. Our ancestors came through even this port of Louisiana. So, we've got that same spirit, esprit de corps. So, Pastor Dixon, I'll let you, in closing, speak to this whole, and it is, perception, something else that you learned, we would learn in media and with advertising, that perception is reality.
Mhm.
And now, reality may not be the absolute facts on paper or number,
Mhm.
but how people perceive you is
Mhm.
real. And if enough people perceive you the wrong way, it will affect, you can't be effective, and it can cause you not to win an election. So I want you, in closing, speak to that, Pastor Dixon.
Yeah, well, a good example was when the media posted my winning the election for Charleston County chair. When they posted it on their sites, right? And all of a sudden, here come the racists out of the woodwork. All of them talking all this negative smack, you see, but they didn't realize that Dixon got an army, and that army came forward and said, "No, y'all lying. Y'all lying on that man." One guy said, "Man, I don't know who y'all talking about. This man stepped up when my friend's son was killed and he was shot when nobody else stepped up. Him and his wife stepped up." And so, yes, its perception is reality, but when you have a strong counter, then that's how we win. That's how we win. This messaging, and they say Republican messaging has been on point and everything. And one point they had to, but when you're messaging people that are already brainwashed, your messaging it's not about
the work is already done. Yeah.
Done. It's already done. And unfortunately, that brainwashing with the Republican message is the same message that they've messaged to Democrats who have believed the lie that in South Carolina, that Democrats can't win. That's a lie. That our conditions here that we have, high crime, domestic violence, poverty, all of these things, they blame it on the Democrats. But just as Michelle said, it's been 25 years since they've run our South Carolina State House, both houses and the governor's office. So how can that be our problem that South Carolina is failing? It's not our problem, but their messaging has placed it on us, and us old gullible folks out here. Oh yeah, it's them Democrats. They done messed us up. Instead of getting up and going to the polls and then putting people in and holding them accountable for their office. It's that messaging. So the messaging with us as a party has got to be twofold. First off, it's got to be what we do, not what we say.
Yes.
We have got to be about the business of not only talking about democratic values, but demonstrating democratic values. I could go, there's a message about the church in there I could go back to, but I'm gonna leave that alone.
No,
okay?
no, come on. You ain't gotta leave it alone.
It's that whole thing. You church people talk about faith without works is dead, but then you look at their works and their works are dead, but they can talk a good game now. They can talk a good game. They walk around, they got a big cocktail table-sized Bible and blessing everybody legalistically and carrying on. I'm praying for you. No, don't pray for me. I'm good. I got myself. But the same thing happens with the Democratic Party. A lot of times we talk a good game, but really we're not being about it. Our boots are not on the ground. It's time for us to get our boots on the ground so that our messaging is backed by the work that we're doing. And people will recognize that. They will see that, and they will in turn want to get involved in what we're doing, holding these politicians accountable. But this whole thing about the messaging, I think that we have to get to that point, that bumper sticker that you talked about. When we're dealing with democratic values, I'm gonna take the bumper sticker to the pastoral realm, okay, the John 10:10 realm, where the gospel writer said that Jesus said that he's come to give us life, and that life to be abundant life. Well, with democratic values are the values needed to live, to have that abundant life. That's what democratic values are about. And church folks will realize that. They'll understand exactly what you're talking about. And a lot of times right now, the people in our Black community and our Latino communities, they are churched people. And just to tell them, okay, Democrats are the John 10:10 people. Maybe that's the bumper sticker right there. Democrats are the John 10:10 people.
And
we come that abundant life.
To piggyback on that, Pastor Dixon, because in many of my monologues, I talk about, because I call out this remixed racist version of Christianity, especially the white evangelicals, that's part of MAGA practice, which it embraces hate, and a dude that is the antithesis of anything that Jesus would say or do. And I always remind them, I said, so the Matthew 23 Christian, that whole did y'all rip that out of the Bible? You know, that Jesus that had compassion and humanity and helped the poor and those who were sick. And you know better than me. I'm not going to quote scripture. You're a pastor, and my sister should be a pastor. Angela is watching now. But I never hear about, I don't hear about compassion and humanity. I hear about hatred and fear and stoking fear and bigotry. But just to kind of piggyback on what you were saying, because I've told my daughter this. She was in high school. She went to School of the Arts here, and I guess there was some kids that's talking about, well, you know, we're good Christians, and we blah 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 blah. I said, Allie, I said, people that's always telling you how good a Christian they are, run from their ass. Because now you can help me with this, Pastor. I went to a Sunday school enough to know where it wasn't like Jesus was beating his chest. He didn't tell people that he was a Christian. He lived it. My grandmother said, I can show you better than I can. Don't tell me, show me. As a matter of fact, if you are living it, you don't have to say a word. I'll be able to say, wow, now that person is living the right way. They are about helping somebody. You don't have to say a word. Your actions and your behavior will say it all.
Well, we can take that back to the Bible. We can take that back to the Gospels. We can take that back to that Matthew 25, when Jesus called the religious people, the priests and the bishops in them. He said, y'all are a bunch of whitewashed tombs full of dead men's bones. Y'all are internally, y'all are dead, because you all have a form of religion, but it's not really the biblical religion. You have no love. You say, do this and do that and do this. And then you're telling people to do that, but you don't even do this and do that. You're not living up to the requirement of God's law, and that's to love him and to love one another. And so those are the same people that killed him. It wasn't about Rome. It was the church people.
Come on,
the
Pastor.
church people. So today, as we look at this faux Republican white nationalist craziness in MAGA, and they're bent toward so-called Christianity, which is not a Christianity, what they've done is the same thing that the scribes and the Pharisees and the Sadducees did 2,000 years ago. They picked the portions of the Bible that they want to use for themselves. The rest they threw away, except for when they needed to hold somebody else down according to that. And that's exactly what we see today. Those are the same people as people today. They're the same ones that would have picked the thief instead of Jesus. Give us Barabbas. They're the same people today. Give us Barabbas. And in their self-righteousness, they feel in their mind they're all right. They feel it's all right to support the clown in the White House. And I might be the chair, but I'm going to call it like I see it. I then also told he come to town, don't invite me to the tarmac. I'm not coming. That ain't what he do.
You're not going to be phony with it. No, I'm with you. I'm not going to be phony with it.
No photo op. I don't care who it is. Him, Him, our real president, Elon Musk, none of them. The chairman of the Republican Party in Charleston County, I'm not taking no pictures with none of them. So they got a new guy in charge of the Charleston County Democratic Party now. And I love my predecessors, but it's a new day. Tupac said the old way wasn't working.
You sound like Eddie Murphy in 48 Hours. It's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Reggie Hampton. In this case, his name is Pastor Thomas Dixon. And as Michelle's generation would say, standing on business. 10 toes down, standing on business. So listen, man, this has been wonderful. I mean, people are watching. I think they've been so captivated. So here's my invitation and request. Between the two of you, I would love to have once a month. I will designate so you can coordinate it with your schedule, but I'm going to make sure that at least once a month that I'm going to reserve one episode for you guys to talk about what you've done. Like it's about action, what you've done and what you're doing and what because this is because we are all in this together. We are all we got, but we are all we need. So then that means we all have an assignment. Now, some folks, they won't get the assignment. They won't understand it. They won't agree with it. Listen, Dr. King's approval rating when he was assassinated was like at 28%, under 30%. It was underwater, under 50% with black people.
That's right.
So everybody isn't going to get it. We don't need everybody. Now, for those who may get it, the door is always going to be open. But I'm just going to be honest, Pastor Dixon and Michelle, my energy is focused on people who understand the assignment and that the time that we're living in, like you two. And we're going to build out this community. And like you said, I think I heard both of you all say, folks that say, hey, wait a minute, this sense of humanity and compassion, this is the America, this is the American I am, this is the kind of Christian I am. But if you told them that those remix racist MAGA white national, if you told them, Pastor Dixon, that Christianity originated on the continent of Africa in Ethiopia, their head would explode. Because I do it all the time on the show.
Absolutely.
Just to make that hit.
Let's take it further than that. Let's tell them civilization.
Yes. I said, Google Coptic Christians. There's your homework assignment for the white evangelical magazine. Google Coptic Christians, then Google Mansa Musa. I don't know if I'm taking them too far. and the real name of Egypt, which was Kemet. If we're gonna do this, if we're gonna tell it, my grandmother said, Geno, if you're gonna tell it all. Tell the truth, but tell it all. Don't tell some of it. Either you're gonna tell all the truth, or just stop talking.
Yeah, exactly. Because partial truth is a lie.
And it's not alternative facts. It's a lie.
No, it's a lie. It's a lie. And I can't live like them other folk.
No, man, listen. Man, I love you guys for doing this. Thank you so much for your time. You've taken time away from your family. So I'm just doing this on camera. You have once a month. I'm going to give you guys your own episode to come on to talk about everything, not just what you're doing, because I think it's important that we understand that we all can do something, and we all must do something now, because it's time sitting around complaining or whatever, because it's beyond party ideology. It's about, and I keep repeating this, it's about, do we have humanity and compassion and empathy, and is there decency toward each other, or are we inhuman? Are we going to behave in an inhuman way? What did Dr. King say? We'll learn to live together as brothers or perish as fools.
Yeah.
That's where we are.
Self-preservation.
Yep.
Right now. It's self-preservation.
So Pastor Thomas Dixon, the chairman of the Charleston County Democratic Party, and Michelle Brandt with the North Charleston Democrats. So I've extended the invitation. So you all just let me know. And listen, if something is happening or if there's a message that we need to get out that needs to get out to the public, you don't have to wait. You got an open door anytime. You don't have to wait a month. But I'm just saying, I know with all the work that you guys are doing, just know that at least, because you all know I will call Pastor Dixon, because I called him literally after he entered his live. I didn't even know, Michelle, I didn't even know he was going live. I didn't know anything about you all's meeting. And he'll tell you, I mean, literally, it was not even 2 minutes after he finished. I called him. Say, yeah, man, all right, you need to get on the show.
Geno, quick shout out, though. Quick shout out to Michelle Brandt. And this is Women's History Month.
Yes.
Okay. And she's a powerhouse.
Yes.
You know, and a shout out also to my 3 vice chairs who are also women. Judge Tamara Curry, first vice chair. Julie Hussey, second vice chair. And Adrian Lett, third vice chair. Progressives. Oh, we on the move. Look, hey, I can't lose with the stuff they use. These is women. Come on, somebody.
And you know what's important? I'm sure there's a lot of things that people could read into the importance, and it is Women's History Month. But what I think is important for men to see, Michelle and Pastor Dixon, is that part of this whole MAGA madness is not just the bigotry and the racism and the you name it, anti-Semitism, anti-immigrant hate, anti-Islamophobia, but a lot of it is the misogyny and sexism. And the majority of black men are nowhere near misogynist and sexist. But, you know, misogyny and sexism, it knows no ethnic background. They're misogynists and sexist of all backgrounds. And I think it's important, what you've done, Pastor Dixon, that you've been blessed to team up with some brilliant, because I've known this sister for a while. She knows been a big fan of hers for a minute. There's some brilliant black women and black men. And I know how you are. You're not intimidated by nothing. We just don't get you ain't gonna intimidate us. If you on the top of your game, iron sharpens iron. Come on the team. It don't matter, men, women, whatever background. If you understand the assignment and you're at the top of your game, you know, come on, give you the ball, get on the court. Let's see what you can do. And if you got game,
let's roll.
Let's roll. So
God's plan, brother. God's plan.
Yeah, I just wanted to give you. I think that's important, Pastor Dixon. But I know you, so you know those who are watching. This brother's been like this since when I first got here. You and I met. Yeah. So it's been 20 years now. So all right, thank you guys. I'm gonna let you guys get out. I didn't, Michelle. Let's give everybody contact number. I'm sure that the parties, you know, they need money, just like our media company, our black-owned media. We know we got to support financially, that we got to put our money where our mouth is. So it's the information with those who want to make contributions. Maybe they want to donate and volunteer their time, or maybe their time and their money. You can give people contact information where they can go and volunteer or donate to both, you know, basically parties, you know, North Charleston and the Charleston County Democrats overall.
Well, if you want to join the North Charleston Democrats or follow us, please go to our Facebook page, which is called the North Charleston Democrats. Follow us there, and we're also on Instagram. It's at North Charleston Dems on Instagram. I'm the one in control of social media, so if you follow us, I'll see you. If you want to DM, direct message us, I'll see you. And you can contact us at northcharlestondemocrats@gmail.com. And if you want to donate, Pastor Dixon, we're not taking dues as of now, so if you want to donate, please donate to the Charleston County Party, but Pastor Dixon can tell you about that.
Right, and that donation is, and visit the website, please, at www.charlestoncounty.democrats.com. The CharlestonDemocrats.com, excuse me, not Charleston County Democrats, CharlestonDemocrats.com, where you can learn more about what's going on with us and with the party. And also there's a link there in order to donate. We can't do the work we do without donations. And a lot of the donations we get are small dollar donations, but they're recurring donations. If you can do $5 a month and have it directly donated in, God bless you. It's what we need. It's what we need. And so that's the place. Join us meetings. Our meetings, we meet on the third Thursday of every month at 6:30 p.m. Over in West Ashley. The West Ashley address is 1379 Ashley River Road. Again, 6:30 p.m. on the third Thursday of every month. But just be advised that there are some things that might be shifting some real soon. I'll be doing a turnover tomorrow with the former chair. And once I see what's going on with that, and also get back to my vice chairs to talk over whatever changes and adjustments need to be made, then we'll be moving forward and the information will be put out about how to stay in touch. But there's one thing about the website is going to stay the same, www.charlestondemocrats.com. And please visit the website that will continue to be updated. But the donation link is right there. And we really, really always can use donations.
And feel free to share all that information all on my social media. But more important, even if you can't come on, just make sure that you get me that information, and I can be sure to let the public know exactly, when and where they can go to be a part of the meetings, especially with all the different areas, because you guys basically got like every corner of, as we call it here, the Low Country, just the Charleston metro area, Charleston County, seems like even Berkeley and Dorchester. I know you, Pastor Dixon, we're talking about even, partnering up and making sure that you guys are kind of sharing resources and being integrated in terms of making sure that there's coordination there. So.
Absolutely.
I salute both of you. I'm really excited. I am really, really excited, Michelle. I didn't expect. I had no idea that Pastor Dixon was running for that position. So it just he just happened to show up on my news feed on Facebook. I just happened to have my phone, and then I get notifications, and then I saw he was live. And for some reason, I guess I was curious. I said, okay, listen, I ain't talked to Pastor Dixon. Let me see what he's talking about. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So I listened, and I had to get on the phone with him. So thank you guys both. I will see you again. Well, like I said, at least once a month, I want to get you guys back here. We got a lot of work to do, and please feel free. Don't hesitate to reach out to me, because I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't mind hosting either virtually on the show, or if I can make it work with my schedule, in person, some of these meetings, even before you get to the big town halls, just I guess some of the smaller meetings.
Yeah.
So you guys both of you all got my cell number, so let me know. And
Excellent. That's what we need, Geno. We need everybody in their own space just to step up. That's all.
And
we're not asking for a whole lot.
And spread the word with all these different the state party and the county parties to take advantage and financially support Black-owned media, because the other side, they do it. It doesn't matter how whack you are. They want to get as many. If you are reading from the MAGA playbook, they're gonna throw some money at what your little podcast or media company to get you to spread the lies.
For real.
So we about spreading the truth. So I can't stress enough. It's so important that we support Black-owned media specifically, because it's intentional and systematic, powerful Black voices. You see what happened with Joy Reid, even Lester Holt, who's never been known to be a champion vocally of civil rights, at least not out loud.
No.
But even he lost his, he's losing his job, or they say he's
crazy.
Stepping down. So, but we know what stepping down is all about.
We've been stepping down for a long time.
Yeah, we have been. All right, guys. Thank you. Listen, I could go on. I love the energy, and like I said, I've known both of these people, and full disclosure, I think highly of them is pretty clear. And like I said, Pastor Dixon and I, we got roots from just growing up in Chicago, but just to 20 years, and this brother's been putting in this work. Sometimes he would be the only, Michelle, he might be the only person out there in the street. He'd have his red scarf on wrapped around, fly GQ, but he would be out there in the streets advocating for the community and the culture, and not just for our culture and the community, just for just decency and humanity and compassion, regardless of background. So I tip my hat to the brother. So thank you both. Enjoy your evening. I know we'll see you back on soon. Thanks,
Thank you so
guys.
much, Geno. We appreciate you.
All right. I appreciate you guys even more. Thank you.
All righty.
That is Pastor Thomas Dixon, ladies and gentlemen. He actually ran against Tim Scott. I wish he'd won that election. Tim Scott, I think, his last election. Pastor Dixon was running in the Democratic Party here in South Carolina for the U.S. Senate seat. And then he ran to be mayor also. And Michelle Brandt, she ran for the House seat 113 that Courtney Waters' sister, who we're going to get on the show too next week. All right, listen, thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. Shout out to my baby sister, hey, baby girl. Thank you, mother. Bless all you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Once again, the best way for everybody who's watching, the best way to just say thank you is just support the platform, support the show, support Black-owned media. Our voices are so important now to speak truth to power. So Pastor Dixon was talking about, look, maybe if you want to just have a reoccurring donation, Cash App or Zelle, doesn't matter. $5, 500, 5,000, 50,000, 500,000, doesn't matter. No amount's too small or too large one time. Or, if you want to just set it up every pay period, you want to make a contribution or donation to the media company to make sure that voices like mine will continue to have a platform and impact and grow and spread so your Cash App is $Dad G Jones. So it's capital D, lowercase AD, capital G, capital J, ONES on Zelle. Just Geno Jones. Type in, you don't even have to type in my whole number. Just type in, if they say Geno Jones, they ask by number, just type in my area code, 843, and it'll take you to my business company, my media, Geno Media LLC. It'll take you to my business account where you can make a contribution, a one-time contribution, 2 times, 10 times, a reoccurring contribution, doesn't matter. Any contribution, any donation is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to be a sponsor, if you'd like to advertise, we'd love to have you as a sponsor of the show or as an advertiser. I'll send you a media package, media buy package. Just email me, Geno Jones Show, that's how you spell it, @Gmail, and I will send you your media package. All right, thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you, God, most of all. Thank you for letting me do the Geno Show live. The Geno Jones Show comes to you Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Chicago Central Time, 3:30 p.m. live in Los Angeles and on the West Coast. Tell everybody to subscribe. Please spread the word. Subscribe to my channel because pretty soon I will be getting, my media company will start getting checks from YouTube. I'm roughly about 230 new subscribers away. So make sure you spread that word, everybody watching this show. Put a post on social media or whatever social media platform or page you have. Just do a little short 30-second video. Make sure you say, hey, make sure you subscribe to the Geno Jones Show and support his media company. And you can give him that Cash App, Dad, that $Dad G Jones, or tell him they can just Zelle me at Geno Jones. And just type in 843. The Geno Jones Show brought to you by the Crate Group, one of the top nonprofits in America. Shout out to the CEO, Kendrick Bannister. You can follow the Crate Group, Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, and I don't even think they're on it. I know on Facebook. So follow the Crate Group on Facebook, or you can just search their website, thecrategroup.com or .org. Now, City Vibes Bar and Lounge, also sponsor of the Geno Jones Show. You can follow City Vibes and learn more. The ultimate adult night spot here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Shout out to Corey and Kenya Williams. Shout out to Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. Follow him on Instagram, KELBE C-U-T-T-I-N-U-P. Kel be cutting up. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the show. Check out Allie Jones and her Lexi Jones collection out on Instagram, LX.NCL_. And shout out to Bruce Gage, also wardrobe consultant, stylist for the Geno Jones Show on Instagram. Mario Uomo, MarioUomo. Mario Uomo, Uomo spelled with a U. UOMO. I love each and every one of you. Thank you. So we'll see you live Wednesday, tomorrow, 6:30. My legal and political expert, Sean Mitchell, Professor Sean Mitchell, he returns to the show. Tomorrow every episode is fire, but you do not want to miss tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We about to get real loose. I know I get loose every show, but we getting real loose. We getting loose tomorrow. You don't want to miss that. If you missed any of this episode, please go back and watch it now. Don't forget to tell everybody, let them know, call them, text them, email them, tell them, man, subscribe to the Geno Jones Show. And financially, we got to support his media company. So, go ahead and become a sponsor, advertiser. Just go ahead. When you just got paid the other day, you got some money left. It doesn't matter. Not too small. Hit my Cash App, Dad G Jones, or you can Zelle Geno Jones. Type in 843 area code. We'll see you live Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And do not trigger yourself. Don't waste your time watching the State of the Union address. Just replay this show. Watch Roland Martin. Go work out. Read a book. Go to sleep. Run you some bubble bath. Make love to your spouse. Go to bed early, get some extra sleep with it. Do whatever you need to do. Don't even waste your time with the lies, and don't even trigger yourself. We'll see you Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern.
You don't want to miss the 2025 Charleston Black Expo, a full day of fun and activities for the whole family, including job fair, health pavilion, free seminars. Join the fireside chat with gospel legend Kirk Franklin, actor Corey Hardrick, and comedian That Chick Angel, with performances by Cupid the Line Dance King, R&B diva Selena Johnson, and Sunday's best Ashford Sanders. It's an enlightening, educating, and entertaining experience you don't want to miss. For tickets, visit blackexposouth.com. Get ready for the 2025 Charleston Black Expo Weekend, March 7th and 8th. Join us for another exciting and empowering weekend for the entire family. Friday, experience the taste of Black Charleston at the Charleston Visitor Center. Saturday, enjoy the Charleston Black Expo at the Charleston Area Convention Center with guest speaker Kirk Franklin. And end the weekend at the official after party at the Segra Club. It's an enlightening, educating, and entertaining Low Country weekend you don't want to miss. For more information and to get involved, visit blackexposouth.com.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.